Step 1 today, we're going to beat Rennes and we're going to get through to the final of the Coupe de France. Step 2 today, we're going to beat Clermont and we're going to be crowned Ligue champions. Step 3, we'll have a crack at the Champions League, because why not? How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of Club 1 here on Chasing Glory on FM24. I'm Stu, thank you for joining me in today's video where part 1 of the plan is mentioned, we get through to the Coupe de France final. Part 2 of the plan is we win Ligue 1. Part 3, we have a go winning the Champions League. If we do that, great. If we don't do that, well, to be fair, that isn't the aim for this part of the save. The aim for this part of the save is literally just domestic trophies. If we can leave France after winning those domestic trophies, brilliant, because what we can then focus on is looking for another club. And if you're excited to see how we get on today, by the way, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of the nonsense that comes out of this space right here. By the way, that'll probably go off. I've still not changed the batteries, but at the moment it's come on. Nothing's happened since you were last with me. It's actually been about an hour. Apologies, had a sneak up on me. It's actually probably been about an hour or two since I finished recording. Had a little bit of a break and I've come back. So the next game is as it was. It's Rennes, as mentioned before, and we do seriously start needing to think about the future of this save, because if we win the Champions League, it takes a massive pressure off. If we don't, it's fine, because the plan was never to win the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. But we do need to think about where we're looking to move on to next, because although there is a war chest of 113 million to spend on future transfers, I don't think Paris Saint-Germain is the best place for us to attempt to win the Champions League. Remember, there's no Kylian mbappe next season unless we try and negotiate a new contract, which I've not even attempted to yet. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to do it now just to see whether he'll entertain it. Let's try enter contracts, negotiations. Let's try it. Let's see whether he will. Whether he will. Wants to be star player, that's absolutely fine. Let's just see how much he actually wants. He's willing to take a pay cut. Our Kylian is willing to take a pay cut to stay at Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, look at the loyalty bonus, though. But Kylian Mbappe is willing to take a pay... It's still £500,000 a week, but he's willing to take a pay cut. I mean, it's the sensible thing to do. I don't even care about giving him a little bit more. Let's try and lower that a little bit. I think we do it. Sensible head. If he's willing to negotiate, we negotiate with him, even if it's not us in charge. This is the sensible thing to do. I'm just going to try and lower everything a little bit. Just a little bit. See whether he goes for that. No, I mean, I didn't think he would. I want to try and get that down to 10. Get that down to that. Quite content with that to go up to that. Okay, what about that? Kylian signed on. So we might have just saved Paris Saint-Germain some money on wages, which is kind of ridiculous. Right, before we get into Coupe de France, just a quick sit rep of how the competitions are going. So, in terms of the league, we know how it is. We basically need a point, and then we've won the league. And that's assuming Monaco win their remaining 7 games. Champions League, it's us and AC Milan in the quarter-final. That's the one competition that we're not going to get sorted today necessarily. We might have to go to a 5th episode for this season. But we will try and wrap things up if we can. Coupe de France, Paris Saint-Germain and Rennes. That's the first game today, we know that. And we also, of course, already won the Trophy de Champion, even though we don't really care about that. So the important one is we get to the game against Rennes and we see what we can do. And this is, let me just have a quick flick through. Yeah, this is going to be the 11 that we're going to be using. We're just going to dive straight into it because, again, no games have been played since. Let me just check the old opposition instructions. We're recommended on none. However, the Man U match is still playing at 35 years old. Will wonders never cease? Okay, a couple of little instructions there, but let's just dive right in. And fingers crossed, we can get through to a final. Selfishly, I would like to see a good performance from Carlo Mawani in front of the cameras. I do feel like it's been a little while. It probably hasn't been. I'm probably imagining that. But in terms of an actual game I'm playing live with you, I would quite like to see him put in a good performance. I'm feeling like I'm not going to get my wish, but we will see and we will find out. Right. let's get ourselves to another final. Fingers crossed we can do it. And, I mean, we've got more than enough quality to do it. We should be absolutely battering them. But cup football is cup football. Any number of things can happen. Right, Vitinha to Dembele. Dembele now, looking for options. Managed to go around a couple of men there really well. I tell you what, Dembele has been sensational this season. And look at the state of that for a goal. Ousmane Dembele, he had an awful first game of the season, but really that's been the only time he's let me down properly. I mean, look at the he couldn't go anywhere, came back around, did a U-turn, blasted through players, going past Alberto Moreno, I think that is, and puts the ball in the back of the net because he can. Forget about Kylian Mbappe. Dembele is where it's at, and it is Alberto Moreno he just utterly ghosted. Outrageous. Right, Mbappe swings it in. I don't know who was looking for the head for, but he didn't win, and it gets get headed out, but we do get the ball back. Right, Mbappe gets it back to Hernandez, Lucas Hernandez, not Teo Hernandez, who I keep calling that one. I keep getting the wrong one. And Kolo Muani has a chance to double our lead. He ends up putting it just wide. Sad. Very, very sad, but it's fine. I'll let him off. Right, goal kick for Rene. Let's try and steal the ball off of them and make it 2. I would quite like a second goal very early on, please. I'd like to just thump them on the way to the final. That would be my ideal scenario here. Right, Hakimi into Dembele. Dembele back to Hakimi. Hakimi tried to get it to Asensio but couldn't quite find it. Right, our defence manages to do its job there. Hakimi now on the ball to Vitinha. That was Hernandez, by the way, coming in and doing the centre-back's job for them. Must be bored. Right, the ball's in, and there is Kolo Muani putting it in the back of the net. He combines with Dembele, makes it 2, but it is being checked by VAR. So we all just love VAR. I do, because it gave us a goal. Yay! It is 2-0. It is an early second goal, which is exactly what I wanted. It's Dembele. I tell you what, Dembele, he's underrated. He's really, really underrated. I mean, so says I. He's such a good player. I've never really trusted him in Football Manager because I know he's injury prone. I know he had issues at Barcelona, but my experience with him this season in this save has been nothing short of fantastic. I would sign him again in a heartbeat. And he'd probably break his leg. But I'd sign him again in a heartbeat. Right, Ugart now, looking to get the ball forward, but decides against it, goes backwards to Skriniar. I tell you what, Skriniar has... I mean, it's no secret that Skriniar's a good defender in FM, but my goodness me, he's been great for us. Dembele. He's... As much as I love Kolo Muani for the goals, Dembele is one of my favourite players in this from this season that we played. And again, I typically avoided using him because I know there's reasons to not use him. He's been a quality player for us this season. Right, Vitinha now on the edge of the area, makes it 3. And that surely, I mean, it's not game over, but it's got to be as close to game over as game over can be. Oh, I love it. Oh, I absolutely love it. Mbappe running down the wing here, cuts inside, finds Vitinha. Vitinha just inside the area, just by a little bit, and it just thumps it. Oh, lovely. Oh, I love that. Oh, it makes me feel all good. Right, 3-0. Let's not stop there. Let's just keep pumping them full of goals. Let's just massacre them and send a message to the rest of the field. It's a throw-in for Rene, however. Alberto Moreno to take, lumps it over. I tell you what, he's found his teammate there. And Torres has gone and pulled one back for Facundo Torres. The flag is up, though. The flag is up, though. It might be offside. It's offside. Never mind. We have a clean sheet still. It is offside. Let's have a look how tight it was. Not even close. Not even close. Referee should have gone Specsavers. You shouldn't have needed your lino. You shouldn't have needed VAR. You should be able to just pick that one up and just work with it. Goodness me. I mean, without that opportunity, they still haven't had a single shot in the game, which means we're doing our job exceptionally well. Asensio has been very quiet in this game, which is a bit disappointing. I'd like to see him get on the ball a little bit more, but then he has got Matic to deal with just in front of the defence, so that is going to be a bit of a challenge. But 3-0 at half-time, I will absolutely take that. That is a delight. I am going to tell Asensio needs to get involved more. I'm just going to G up Ugarte a little bit because he's not really got involved, but then as a defensive midfielder in a team we're dominating, probably doesn't need to get involved that much, to be honest. Right, second half, and this is all about us just making sure we get through with no issues. I'd quite like us to add to the tally One goal I'd be very, very happy with. Any more than that, I'd be delighted. Right, it's a corner to Rene, which always concerns me a little bit. It's Facundo Torres who scored that goal that didn't get given. Whipping it in, looking for Arthur Theat. Goes behind Theat, actually. Theat now has to do something with it. Should I go the ball there? I tell you what, Theat did really well there. It might be disallowed. The flag, I think, was up. It might get disallowed. I'm actually really impressed with the pass from Theat there to find his teammate. And it was all for nothing. They've had another goal disallowed. This is like me at the beginning of FM24. Every goal being disallowed. Weird touch there from Theat. And then what a great little pass. But he caught the man offside. And that's the problem with that. Great idea. Execution just wasn't great in terms of the vision from Theat there. I mean, I've used him before. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a defender who can play a ball-splitting pass. Sorry, Arthur. Right, Dembele now gets it to Vitinha. Vitinha looking for ways forward. Gets to Asensio. Asensio into Ugarte. Ugarte now into Mbappe. Mbappe turns his man, just sprints past him. Matic intercepts though. Fair play to Nemanja Matic, being in the right place at the right time there. And they're playing it short. They've messed it up. And Kolo Muani just gets the ball and just thumps it in and makes them pay for it. 4-0. I wanted one more goal. That'll do for me. Mandanda starts the move off here. Gets it to Theat. Theat panics a bit. Gets it to Bias. But Bias just doesn't do anything with it. And Kolo Muani just decides, thank you, sir. I will have another. I'm not even going to ask for one. I'm just going to take it. Because I'm an absolute G. Right. I'm going to call that substitute o'clock. We can start thinking about the future now, to be honest with you. Right, 2 goals for Kolo Muani. He's obviously staying on just in case he gets a hat-trick. But we can make other changes. I think I'll bring on Tomiyasu for Hakimi. Let's give Hakimi a bit of a break. I think we will give Ugarte a break as well. Well, I don't want to give it... Yeah, no, we will actually. Marquinhos can go up to defensive midfielder. And we'll bring on Schlotterbeck, actually, instead of Todibo. We'll swap those two around. And then I think Asensio's going to come off because he's not had a good one. And we'll bring on Orkun Koku because Koku's been really good when we've needed him, actually. I've been really impressed with him when he's come on. He had one game where we got a couple of goals and an assist. He was sensational. So I'm quite content for him to have a few more minutes in this one. And just see if he can get us a 5th. I'd be really happy with that. They actually have had a few more chances now, Rene. So we are starting to open up for them a little bit. But we're 4-0 up. I don't think we need to worry too much. Right. Final substitutions. Let's have a look. I think Hernandez is going to come off for Mendes. We'll give Mendes some football. And then Zaire Emery's actually not had as much football recently. But he has. I don't really know why his fitness isn't fully with a green thumbs up. But we will take off Vitinha, give him a break. And we'll bring on Zaire Emery for the final few minutes of this game. Just see whether he can get a cheeky assist or two. If he's going to get one, it's going to be one. It's probably not going to be 2. Marquinhos just intercepting like an absolute madman there. Tomiyasu into Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery getting in the position here. He's managed to keep the ball. Gets it back to Tomiyasu. Marquinhos goes for the worldie. And he just calls it just wide. I thought for a moment Zaire Emery was going to either get a goal or an assist. That would have been absolute nonsense. Right, Mandanda with a goal kick. Stop playing it short. It keeps messing you up. You keep... Literally, every time they play it short, it goes horribly wrong. And they keep doing the same strategy. Right, Marquinhos. Schlotterbeck. Looking for ways forward. They go backwards. I think he might go backwards here. No, he goes forwards to Zaire Emery. Or sideways. Right, back to Skriniar now. Skriniar looking for the right pass at the right time. And get onto it a little bit here. Goes back to Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck now into Mendes. Mendes into Mbappe. Mbappe now. Sticking out wide, cutting inside, goes to Marquinhos, goes for the sensible option, into Dembele. Dembele looking for another goal. He's got another goal. And it is 5. I wanted us to thump them. We have thumped them. I'm a happy chap. That light is definitely dimming in the background, by the way. I'll take that all day long. Lovely passing. Marquinhos doing really, really good work in that defensive role. I think if I was to stay at PSG for another year, the only reason I would is if we don't win the final of this trophy of the Coupe de France. The only reason I'll stay another year, I think Marquinhos would end up being a midfielder. Because I know he's played there in real life. My word, I've underestimated how good he is in that position. As a defensive midfielder, like he's run the show since he moved to that position. He's been sensational. What a game. What a result. Dembele and Kolo Muani just absolutely destroying Rene there. That was a good job. That was a very, very good job. Right, no rest for the wicked though, because we've got one game left to win the title. And I mean, it's almost a given that we're going to win it at this point. 7 games to go. Only need 1 point, or we need either us 1 point, or we need Monaco to drop points. That's the way kind of round it's going to be. 3 days time for Clermont Foot. I'm just thinking, do we? I mean, it's an important moment. It's the trophy. We'll have the trophy lift in that game. I was thinking, do we not show you the game? I am going to show you the game. It would be silly not to. So yeah, bear with me, and we'll come back for that one. Time for the game against Clermont, and we are hoping that we are going to be about to lift a trophy, a proper trophy for the first time in this save. Of course, we did win the equivalent of the Community Shield. Proper trophy, like I said. And that's the 11. Hopefully it's good enough. A couple of changes. Koku is in, and Zaire Emery are in as well, just for the sake of a little bit of squad rotation. Gitroida and Gonçalves have had injuries. I don't know whether I've drawn much attention to that. Both of them are nearly back. Gonçalves is just under 2 weeks away. Gitroida is just a week away. So we will have a full squad at some point, assuming there are no more injuries. Let's get to it. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain have won this trophy so many times that this is going to just be like any other game for the majority of those players. Surely. Hopefully. I mean, it's one of those. If there was ever a game where we were going to balls things up, it would be this one. So fingers crossed this is not the one. Let's get to it, shall we? Let's just get this over and done with. Remember, all we need, as far as I could work out mathematically, if we assume that Monaco are going to win all of their remaining games, we need a point. But I'd rather get 3. I'd rather just keep going, to be honest with you. I'd rather just get as many points as possible. Right, Hakimi, running forward down that right wing, looking for options into the box, whips it in. And I tell you what, Koku was there, ready to pounce, but it has gone out for a corner. Let's see if we can get a goal from here. Ousmane Dembele now looking for options. It might be a short corner, you know. No, it was a tricky short corner. Didn't end up going anywhere near, really, and it gets headed out, and as far nothing. Also, let's get... Oh, I want to get the table up, but apparently we're going to get a highlight instead. It's going to be a highlight with Clermont as well. So we need to take the ball off of them relatively quickly and score a goal, because I just want to get this done and sorted. This is not how to do it, though. It's an attack from Clermont here. They go quite deep, though. They do go quite deep, but then they could still hurt us, or are we going to steal the ball off of them? I'd quite like to steal the ball, please, boys. I'd quite like to steal the ball, please, boys. 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 Boys! Why are we not getting the ball? Oh, this is concerning. Oh, we haven't had early trouble like this for a little while. I'm not used to it. A bit of danger. Where will I come out in the table? I'd like to see the table next time I get the option to bring it up. Right, Koku is on the end of the ball here, and we now have a counter-attack going. We are outnumbered a bit, but we are getting numbers back. Right, Dembele now running into the box. Oh, gets the ball taken off of him. A little bit cocky there from Dembele, maybe, but who can blame him with the game he had last time out? Absolutely sensational. Right, table. Yes, there we go. To be fair, Clermont are doing pretty well. They're in 8th position. They're still hoping they're going to get into a European spot. So they have got a lot to play for today. Just like we do, to be fair. But you could argue they've almost got more to play for, because we win the league every year. How often do they get into Europe? I don't know the answer to that question, but I don't feel like I see their name in Europe all the time. So, you know, it is what it is. Right, Skriniar gets it out to Hernandez. Hernandez now looking for options, and there really aren't that many of them, which is a bit of a concern. Right, Ugarte comes short for him. Goes back to Hernandez. Hernandez now looking for Mbappe. Mbappe gets it back to Hernandez. A little bit of passing from us now. I tell you what, they are doing a pretty good job of marking us at the moment, but we are trying to get through as best as we can. Hernandez has decided he's going to do this all on his own. It's an early cross in, looking for the head of Dembele. Doesn't find him. Kolo Muani gets it back to Dembele, though. Now to Hakimi. Hakimi into the box. He's gone for the shot, Hakimi, and he ends up drawing a save out of Dior, the goalkeeper. And we have a corner. I mean, if we have to do this set-piece route, we'll do it the set-piece route. Right, Koku with the corner. Floating it in for the header. Skriniar can't find him. Hernandez gets it back to Koku. Back to Hernandez. No, to Dembele. Dembele now coming over to the left-hand side. Looking to cross it in or hold it up. He held it up and he gave the ball away. Well, we need to not be doing that. Right, I'm going to demand a bit more from us, because we've had a good start, but we're also not looking as sharp as we have done in recent games. Let's get the ball in the back of the net by any means necessary. Right, Hakimi. Hakimi shouldn't have gone for the shot there. Great opportunity to cross the ball in. He ended up going for the shot, and we ended up wasting a chance there because of it. And we're letting Clement have a decent amount of chances. Again, they're having a good season. Let's not sell them short. They are doing quite well, but a bit disappointed so far, if I'm honest. A little bit disappointed. Right. Here they come. Here come Clement. They're through. They've broken through the defence. And Donnarumma had to earn his pennies. That's pennies. Goodness me, he's got a lot of pennies. He had to earn them there, and it is a corner to Clement. We really need to be turning up the pressure on them at the moment, and we need to be working on our actual effectiveness in front of goal, because we have had chances on target, but not many. Right, Ugard gets to Dembele, but the highlight ends. We need to work a bit harder here. We really, really do. Right, Skriniar now, looking for options. Floats it over to Hakimi. Hakimi now. Going to run to the byline, gets it into Koku, and Koku might be the man who wins us Ligue 1. He very well might be the man who does it. Utter scenes. Utter scenes. And that will take the pressure off. 2 trophies we need to win this season. Trophy number 1 is this one, Ligue 1. The most important one, arguably. But then the Coupe de France is just as important. The Champions League doesn't really matter. Why we prioritise the league as well as the cup competitions in this episode. The whole reason why we've done that. We want to make sure that we give the competitions we're actually challenging for some respect. Right, Hernandez now looking for options. Gets it to Koku. Koku into Mbappe. Mbappe getting it through to Kolo Muani. It's a lovely run from Kolo Muani, and it's a great save from their goalkeeper. Stops it from becoming 2-0. Very good work from their goalkeeper. Right, Koku looking to whip the ball in. Looking for the head of Skriniar. Can't find him. Skriniar really not getting as effective on their set pieces as I thought he would. Hernandez does really well not to lose out there. Got tackled but managed to get the ball back. But the highlight ended up going to nothing. And that, I think, is going to be half time. I'm not disappointed with the fact that they're in the lead. I'm just disappointed that it's not more than 1-0. But I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. I'll say that I'm happy, but the attackers, I'm just going to say, not good enough. And I'm also going to say to Kylian, not happy. Step up your game. Also, Marquinhos, I'd like to see a little bit more from you as well. Right. Second half, we're going to go attacking. Let's just try and push them all away. Let's just try and push them all away. This is enough to win us the title, but I'd like another goal. Let's just keep pushing them, keep attacking, get more chances. Eventually, more of them are going to get on target. More of them are going to get past the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can only have a good game for so long. I'd like a highlight at some point, if that's okay. Because I'm going to have to make a substitution in a minute. Not a single Well, okay then. That's how it's going to be. Right. We're going to bring off... I mean, to be fair, the Golden 2 are not having good games. So Ramos is going to come on. And I'm going to bring Asensio on the wing as well, because he can do a job there. So let's do that. And I think I'll leave everything else. So I might bring Hernandez off for Mendes, actually. Hernandez is having a decent game. He is, but he's tiring. No, we will do that. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do that. Right. See the game out. Try and get another goal, shall we? If Ramos and Asensio can do some work to get the ball in the back of the net again, I'd be really happy. I thought Asensio was going to immediately lead to a goal from a set piece there. That would have been beautiful, but sadly not to be. Sadly not to be, but we are running the time down, which is very important. Right, final substitution window. Let's have a look and see what we want to do. Hakimi is tiring, but I'm going to leave him on. I'm thinking Dembele might come off and we'll bring on Kangin Lee. And Zairemi's not had the best of games, but I'm going to keep him out there just to get his match sharpness. He's up now anyway, so I could just take him off. But I'm actually looking at Marquinhos. He's not had a great game. So we'll bring Schlotterbeck on and we'll move Skriniar and Schlotterbeck around just so they're in their preferred kind of sides on the right and on the left. Right. So either get another goal or see the game out. Either way, I just want this game to be over. And if we could just get the trophy confirmed, I'll be really happy. That was a poor free kick from Asensio there. Really poor free kick. He's better than that. He's really better than that. Right, ball out, but Mendes is going to be the one to claim it. Let's just get forward again. Right, Ugarte. Back to Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck now. Goes back to Mendes. Mendes looking for options. There's not really that many ahead of him. It'd be nice if Asensio was trying to help him out there, but he's probably just sticking narrow to the tactics that I've set up, so it's probably my fault. Right, Hakimi to Skriniar. Skriniar now. They're really making it difficult for us to find space, actually. We're having to force it like this, but we've got the players who can do it. Hakimi does a really good job of coming forward. Nearly gives possession up, but wins it back. Right, Ugarte now. We've stretched him a little bit. He's gone for a while, the Ugarte, and it ends up just going over. Ugarte should not be shooting. Ever. Quite frankly. Especially if those are the shots. He should not be shooting. Goodness me. But I think, unless anything dramatic happens, I think the title is ours. I think we've got the first trophy of this Glory Hunter. I think we've got it. Right. Kang-in Lee was there at the far post, but he's far too small to get onto it. Hakimi now gets it in. Kang-in Lee is there. And it's Kang-in Lee. And the other bloke who scored, whose name I've forgotten. Because of course I've forgotten his name. And Koku. Kang-in Lee and Urkun Koku, two fringe, not even fringe players, that's probably a bit harsh. Two rotation players have scored the goals, both assisted by our right back, Hakimi, that have won us Ligue 1. We have our first trophy in the challenge in the first season. So far, so good with the plan. Getting France out the way early. We are lifting it. Well, we're not. Someone else is lifting it. It's going to be Marquinhos who lifts it. He's the captain. I say that. I think Donnarumma's actually the captain. Either way. Trophy. Happy days. Yeah. Yeah. I've just realised. Goalkeeper. Donnarumma's got the captain's armband. Oh, Marquinhos got subbed off, didn't they? That's probably the reason why. Right. Either way. Trophy number 1. Completed it, mate. Happy days. Right. Job 1 done. Now it's time for job 2. Fingers crossed we can get it done. Hopefully. So as I mentioned before, Ligue 1 has been completed. We are now champions. The rest of the season in the league doesn't actually matter. I mean, it just doesn't. I'm sorry. We've got 6 games that don't really mean anything. What we do have, however, is 2 more fronts where we can win trophies. Front number 1 is the Coupe de France against Nantes. We should win that. Nantes are currently in 12th. We should be able to win that. Unless they have a bit of a bounce back where they kind of have one of those weird points where a team in trouble kind of decides to want to have something to cheer about. I'm hoping that isn't the case because it means we've got to spend another season in France when we don't need to. We've also got the Champions League, which again, in the quarterfinal, I'm not expecting us to win that by any stretch of the imagination. However, we are in it. We will treat it with respect. However, because that is not the focus of this season, we're not going to actually watch that game. We are going to play it, and then we're going to return to things afterwards, and then we'll have a look at it. So I'm going to play each of the games. I'll show you what the result is, and then we'll come back to it if we need to. If not, we'll just go straight through to the Coupe de France final. Coupe de France final, by the way, on the 5th of May. So it's in 25th of May, sorry. So it's actually a good while away. So we've got a bit of time that we need to get through to get to there. So we'll go through this bit first, and we'll see whether we can get through to the Champions League semi-final, because we're in the quarter-final at the moment, so see what happens. Well, we squeaked through. We definitely squeaked through. 2-1 at home, but we have got the away leg to come, so let's calm ourselves down. Let's just be prepared for what we've got. So let's have a quick watch of the goals and just see what happens. We won, that's the main thing. However, 2-1, the away leg to come. I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm honest. It's all thanks to Kolo Muani. But the first goal was from Theo Hernandez running down the left, assisting Rafael Leao, who just goes through his man. And then Donnarumma actually picked up an injury before this game, so we're having to start Tenas for the first time this season. Obviously, that was never going to go well. The other Hernandez gets it to Mbappe. Mbappe to Koku. It's actually very similar to their goal. And then Koku's shot ends up going in off Kolo Muani. Kolo Muani ends up claiming the goal. And then on the other side of the pitch, Asensio gets it to Hakimi from the throw-in. Vitinha back to Asensio, and Kolo Muani is there to make it 2. We do win, which is the most important thing. Right. We go again away from home. Yeah, that didn't go to plan, did it? Yeah. Well, the plan was never to win the Champions League this season. That's all I'm going to say. And yes, I still need batteries for the sign. The plan was never to win the Champions League this season, but it's only fair that we actually see the goals. Is it? I don't know if it is. I don't know if I want to watch it again, but we're going to watch it again because it's all going so well. We started off well, 10th minute, penalty, Mbappe, 1-0, yay. Then we concede in the 24th minute, Pabega from a corner. It is what it is, we'll have to deal with it, it's fine. But then we went 2-1 ahead, 4-2 overall. Koku with a lovely ball over to Kolo Muani. What a chip that is from Kolo Muani, and we're leading. And everything's fine. We've got a 2-goal cushion, it's great. But then we let another sloppy corner in, and it goes to 2-2. We're still winning by a goal at this point, though, remember. And then in the 69th minute, everything falls apart. Teo Hernandez to Loftus-Cheek, and Loftus-Cheek ends up putting Milan on level terms. And then a 90th minute winner. And it's the Hernandez we don't have. Teo Hernandez, who scored. Now, I don't know. I mean, we didn't play Asensio. We didn't play Lucas Hernandez. We didn't play Hakimi. I was trying to play not a tactic. I was trying to play kind of sensibly because my thought process was some of those players were on yellow cards. And I can't remember whether they changed the rule on that, but I didn't want players missing for a potential final. Well, other than a bit of a ball draw against Lyon in the first game after our Champions League disappointment, I think we've handled things rather well. And we battered Le Havre 5-0. Pedro with a few goals and Kolo Muani with a few goals. Nice 2-1. Scraped through Kolo Muani again in the action with Kangin Lee getting a rare goal. I say rare just because he doesn't play that often. Toulouse battered them 4-0. Mbappe with 1. Muani with 3. And then Metz on the final day of the league season. Hernandez got 1. And then Mbappe just went wild and just decided to score 4 just because he can. And where you can't see the teams, just take it that I'm telling you the truth. But we have now got arguably the most important trophy of the match of the season to win this trophy. Paris Saint-Germain versus FC Nantes. It should be a whitewash. We should be able to win this, no problem. But if we don't, then we've got problems. So, that's the team. Fingers crossed we can win it. We have got injury issues, which I didn't mention before. Hernandez is out with an injury, as is Dembele. I don't know why I was hovering over Mbappe's position. He plays on this side. So we are missing 2 of our most important players in the team. But I think it's a squad, actually. I say built. I think we've added to a squad that has actually got a decent amount of squad depth. And I think we can cover it. Mendes has actually played quite well for chunks of this season. And we've actually, since the Dembele injury, moved Asensio out wide. And Gonçalves has gone into the attacking midfield role. And, wow, he's done really well. So, fingers crossed that continues. Because, again, if we don't win this game, we're here for another year, no matter what happens. I would very much like to give us more time in another country that's going to be a bit more difficult than this one. Like one of the countries where there's a bit more depth and a bit more of a challenge, if you will. That's the whole reason why we started at Paris Saint-Germain. The first highlight started with Nantes on the ball. I was a bit worried then. Right, Zaire Emery on the ball now. By the way, Vitinha, who isn't starting today, currently in the rumour mill to be going to Liverpool next season for a deal that could be worth up to £120 million. All of a sudden, having to stay here till next year doesn't look so bad. If it does happen, if we can get that sort of money, because then we've got £200 million to go nuts with. That'd be lovely. It's been a really boring first half, and it's still 0-0, but we've had plenty of chances. It's got being FM'd all over it. It really does. Right, Schlotterbeck to Ugarte now. Ugarte into Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery looking for options, gets it to Asensio. Asensio goes on the offensive on the outside, waits for Hakimi to overlap, who does. Doesn't really go anywhere, though. We're going back now, just biding our time a little bit. I like the fact that we're doing that. Let's not rush anything. Right, Ugarte now. Can't get the pass through. We do win the ball back, but then we give it away again, but we get it back again and retain possession. Lovely stuff from us. We lose it, we make a mistake, and we manage to do things to rectify the error. Right, Zaire Emery gives up possession again, but gets it back, to be fair, which is lovely. Big ball over the top looking for Asensio. Asensio can't get through, but he's actually ended up winning the ball from the defender's clearance. Asensio now, whipping it in, looking for the head of Mbappe, and it's Kylian Mbappe. The Prince himself has gone and scored and made it 1-0 in the cup final in the 47th minute. End of the first half and we lead. It's going to be a gut punch to Nantes, who are going to feel like they were holding on so well, and then at the last moment, bang, Mr. Mbappe is there and makes it 1-0. We're halfway there. Apologies. I just kind of stopped and then forgot to carry on. I had a knock at the door, so I just completely forgot to carry on talking, and I just started the game again. I talked to the players. I told them that they're doing okay, but they can do a bit better. Basically, I hit the pause button, dealt with what I needed to deal with, and then just played as if I was playing FM on my own. We won a penalty, by the way. So apologies for that randomness, but we have won a penalty. Asensio, I think, was the guy who was fouled. I say we won a penalty. We have won a penalty. I was going to say maybe getting a bit ahead of myself there, but it looks like we have won a penalty, and it is going to be. I'm going to guess Kylian Mbappe who's going to take it, because why wouldn't it be Kylian Mbappe? And he scored, and it is 2-0. I would say Kolo Muani is a huge part of how we won the league. Kylian Mbappe might be the reason why we win another trophy. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about leaving this team, you know. I'm just thinking if we just build a super club next year and focus on the Champions League, with the money that we have available, it's a very, very tempting possibility. It really is, especially because we haven't even moved any of the wage budget. Because again, we've got £1 million in the wage budget. I'm used to having, with a big club, maximum of 200,000 to 300,000, and we've got so much more than that. So if we can, Pedro's nicked him now. Oh, Pedro, so close. Right, can Asensio get it? He does. Zaire Emery now on the ball. Gets that wide to Hakimi. Hakimi now cutting in, floats it in, looking for the head of Kylian. Kolo Muani is there, and Kolo Muani continues his run of not being that good when the camera's on. Bless him. Bless his little cottons. Right. Let's make the first of what's going to be a few substitutions. And let's just shore things up a bit. Right, Nuno Mendes has not had a good game. I'm going to bring Tomiyasu on. He can play as a left back, so let's do that. Marquinhos has not had a good one, so Skriniar can come on. And then Asensio has had a good game, but he's not had a great game. So actually, I think we're going to move... I tend to move Pedro out there. We'll leave Pedro where he is. He's not having a great game, but he's doing enough. I think we'll bring Kang-in Lee on. Kang-in Lee's done a good job for us this season when he's had to come in. So I'm quite content to give him some minutes in the final. I mean, we're 2 up. Mbappe's on a hat-trick. It's not a done deal, but it's as close to as it's going to be. And I would love to kind of think that it's out of sight the closer we get to the final whistle. Of course, if they get 1 goal, it changes everything. Absolutely everything. I haven't had to highlight in a while. There we go. There's one. It's corner. Mbappe to Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery looking to get the ball to the right person. Gets it to Tomiyasu of all people. And I love that about us. We don't rush things. We just pass it around, wait for the right moment. Lovely crossing there to Schlotterbeck on the left wing. He can play left back, so he's not completely... Oh my word. If Tomiyasu went and scored that would have been utter nonsense, and I'd have been absolutely here for it. It was so good, it made me forget my point about Schlotterbeck. Oh yeah, he can play as left back, so he's not completely out of his depth out there. Right, Mbappe whipping it in, looking for the head of Skriniar, cannot find it, but Kang-in Lee gets it to Mbappe, back to Kang-in Lee. Again, nice little patience, and I tell you what, Tomiyasu wants a goal. I thought Kylian was going to first time it there and get his hat-trick, he didn't. Gets to Hakimi, Hakimi to Ugarte. We know Ugarte likes a long shot, but doesn't have time to actually get it out of his feet, which is a bit of a shame. Right, final couple of substitutions just to finish the game off. Kylian is staying on. We're going to try and get him a hat-trick. I'm going to take Ugarte off for Getroida. And then... I don't know... I mean, I kind of want to keep Kolo Muani on just in case he gets a goal. Do you know what? We'll take Zaire Emery off. He's had a really good game. Let's bring in Vitinha in the engine room just to give them something else just to worry about when they're trying to break through us. I mean, again, the more time goes on, the more I'm convinced that we've done the job here. I tell you what, one of their centre-backs is having a game. Like, he's not having a great game, but compared to the rest of the squad, he's having a game. Right, Tomiyasu now into Pedro. Pedro puts it to Tomiyasu again. Tomiyasu running down the left wing like it is his home. Gets it to Getroida. Floats it in, looking for Kang-in Lee. I mean, if Kang-in Lee was a foot taller, what a goal that would have been. And Vitinha has just ghosted through players like they're nothing and has scored only his 4th of the season, but it's our 3rd goal, which is going to cement us the Coupe de France, and that is the most important thing. Getroida just does some lovely work here, floats it looking for Kylian Lee. Kylian Lee just needs to be a few inches taller. I know I said a foot taller before, but a few inches would do it. And Vitinha just comes in and just decides he wants to score a goal, which is lovely. Very happy to see that, very happy indeed. And that is job done in France. That is going to be job done in France. We might even get a fourth yet. I'd love us to get a fourth. Getroida, I'll tell you what, nearly did. He very, very nearly did. Oh, I love this Paris Saint-Germain team. I know it's a nothing league, but I love this Paris Saint-Germain team. It is utterly ridiculous. But I do feel like the whole plan was, let's win what we need to win in France in one season, and let's move on. Let's move on. I mean, I tell you what, I don't know if you saw, the coaching staff and the substitutes, they were already on... I mean, these guys have had a bit of a telling off. Obviously, you're not allowed a medal. But there we go. That is what we wanted to do. We've already won Ligue 1. We've now won the Coupe de France. France completed. We even won their version of Community Shield. That is France completed. So we now need to decide what we're going to do for the next season. Because we're one season in. We're one nation down. We could... I mean, we got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this year. And an utter collapse saw us get knocked out. But, I mean, with the money that we've got, we could genuinely do something about this. We could genuinely add some real superstar quality to the squad to get us into a position where we could win the Champions League. It's a real thing to think about. And I think it does depend. It does depend on the jobs that are available. Having said that, narratively, it makes more sense for us to try and win the Champions League in the final part of the save. Maybe we come back to Paris Saint-Germain. Wouldn't that be ridiculous if we came back to Paris Saint-Germain? I think we have to stick to the plan. And the plan was, we win everything we need to in France. Because, I mean, I'm not being funny. We've won it in a league where the competition isn't that strong. We've done very, very well. I will show you everything in terms of how we've done. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know what we do. Because, I mean, I'll go through everything in the next episode. The next episode will be a roundup of this season as well as what to do next. But if I show you the Ligue 1 stuff, goodness me. Goal difference of 99. It's not goals for, that's goal difference of plus 99. The nearest team to us is plus 35. 23 points ahead of the nearest team. We went unbeaten in that season. And a lot of it is because of the players you see around here. I'm not going to run through it because we'll go through everything in a season review in the next video, as well as decide what we're actually going to do. I am leaning towards leaving Paris Saint-Germain because we've done everything we need to do. The question really is this squad, as it is at the moment, good enough for us to win the Champions League? I don't think it is, but I think maybe one top quality centre-back. I mean, it might just be that, to be honest. A top quality centre-back, maybe a better backup goalkeeper, one or two better backup positions. That might be all we need to do, and then all of a sudden we've got a rock star team that Paris Saint-Germain probably thought they had with their kind of weird version of the Galacticos. But we might have a team that can just take over Europe. Maybe? I don't know. I'm still leaning towards leaving, but we'll go into that in the next video. But that is effectively Season 1 of Chasing Glory done. Season 1 of Club 1, I should say. We've done the job, exactly what was asked of us. Ligue 1 Uber Eats, won it, finished it, number 1, completed it, mate. Coupe de France, won it, completed it, mate. We even won the bonus Farmers Trophy that we didn't really care about, and Champions League we won't talk about. So, in the next video, we will round up the season that was, and we will have a look and see what we're going to do in the future. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to leave a big like on the video for me, and don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to do so, and you will make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.